Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What's going on, Chip? It is good to see you back. We've been holding down the fort solo for quite a while. So check this out. Ripple XRP is offering a solution towards regulatory clarity, something that the SEC simply can't do, the Congress won't do, but Ripple is suggesting a really nice clear path. XRPL for the NFT. And you know what? Who does Gary Gensler actually work for? It's all that we're going to cover and a lot more. If you're ready to get started, I say we kick this thing off.
Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Sweet.
Well, Jeff, it's good to be seen again. It's good to be back. Had a great time with the family. And of course, a lot of entertaining going on in the evening, and you know how that works. It was funny the day I tried to check in the other night. I go, let me check in. I always like to say hi to the OTC family. And it said, this channel has been deleted. I was like, what? You were in the middle of you were in the middle of streaming. I call you up and you're like, dude, I'm streaming. I'm like, no, not to YouTube. You're not. And then everything started blowing up. Our Twitter feed started blowing up. All of our channels started blowing up. So that was one of those weird sort of anomalies. But, look, they got it right. Yeah, they got it right.
Fantastic. Yeah, they got it. They fixed it, and it took a little bit of doing. But look at that nice tweet they put out there.
Yeah, and it bounced back pretty quick. So I have to say, and all things considered, as that is a show on, what is that? Some public airwaves over there. A public airwaves show. What do they call that? That's funded by us, Jeff, that nobody listens to. But anyway, yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. And what a great night. What a great night to return, too. There's so much good stuff. But I just want to say thank you, to I know you said this last night, but thank you to all the amazing people in the OTC family who really just rallied. I mean, I think that was the fastest return of any channel. It's really incredible.
I think so. Oh, yeah. We had a little poll out there in the community. That was outstanding. And we got K HUD jumping in with a little bit of support. So appreciate you. Appreciate you on that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So Chip, man, where do you want to get started? Where do you want to kick this thing off?
I think we start at the beginning, Jeff. I always like to go right from the beginning. But sometimes I'll read a book halfway. I'll start halfway. And I'll be mad because I don't know what's going on. If it's like a fiction book, I'll be like, I don't know what's going on. But I like things that I can run around and read here and there. Look at this right over here. Followed up by Jagoya Web right there. Super sticker. Thank you for that. Beautiful. Yes. Appreciate it. I appreciate. And I think I was going to start right at the beginning. And basically, let's start right at the beginning. But, something really amazing happened. So a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was a week and a half ago, Coinbase, that was the return, fastest return. Yeah, it surely was, Alan.
Yeah, think about this, Chip. The fastest return of any YouTube channel for the slowest growing YouTube channel.
Boom, put that on a shirt, boss. Let's put that on a shirt. Yeah. Fastest return for the slowest growing, right? That's right. Yeah. So Ripple, they've obviously been working on something, but a couple weeks ago we had Coinbase. Coinbase was at the center of coming out with their own sort of like how they see it. This is how we see the regulations going down, and a lot of suggestions, a lot of good stuff too. But, Ripple's always going to do it a little bit better. Just saying, they've been around. They kind of know. They're not coming from an exchange point of view. They're coming from hey, we're persecuted and hammered by the SEC. We kind of know how this should go. Just saying, Jeff. And, and I was kind of surprised. I was really surprised when they chose this title, too. I was like, wow, that's something right there. A real approach to cryptocurrency regulation, unlike the brain dead SEC. I was like, wow, that's something, Jeff, coming right out of the gate. Swinging. I was like, boy, I mean, and how much better could it get than that, right? I mean, were you shocked by that title as well?
I was shocked. I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. That's pretty bold.
It's pretty bold. But of course, it's just, Jeff and I having a bit of fun. It's not real. But if you see, if I refresh the page, you will notice that it will go back to the actual real heading, which is just a real approach to cryptocurrency regulation. But it's always a little fun to play every once in a while, Jeff. I mean,
but even that, think about their title, a real approach. So even though you had a little fun with it, I think they're throwing their own jab in there, because here you have Congress and the SEC, right, tripping over themselves. No clear cut path to regulatory clarity. We know that they've crammed in some crypto legislation into the infrastructure bill that is, detrimental to say the least. And so here they come out and look at that title, right? A real path.
Yeah, as opposed to a fake path or a crappy
Yeah.
path or just no path, right? This is a real path, and it's like makes a lot of sense. And Garlinghouse put this tweet out saying he this was obviously Ripple tweeted this saying we're proud to release our vision. I like that. Our vision for a real approach to cryptocurrency regulation, a framework designed to offer an immediate, pragmatic approach to cryptocurrency and the digital asset regulation in the United States. And of course, Garlinghouse commented on it, stating that our proposed policy framework, it's a three-pronged approach of what can be done now to provide clarity to one of the fastest growing industries in the U.S. It's also the result of our direct interactions with the regulators and bipartisan policymakers. Now, Jeff, this makes a lot of sense because, we covered the story not too long ago where Ripple's really integral about regulations. I thought it was maybe Australia, but they're involved in a lot of different conversations around the world, right? It's not something that's just isolated.
Well, yeah, and that's it's a key point to bring up that it is global in nature. But in this case, we're not talking about Ripple, we're talking about crypto, we're talking about blockchain technology, and we're talking about how fast that industry is growing. And he references it right there. They want to provide a little bit of clarity to one of the fastest growing industries. And Chip, the other night, I was referencing the fact that, and we talked about this multiple times with the internet. If you think about, back in the 90s, imagine if Congress would have come out and thought of all the ways they could to potentially suck as many tax dollars out of that industry as possible, and then say, hey, you know what, we're going to have some crazy legislation, and we're just going to throw in an internet bill into this legislation that does nothing positive for growth. And so that was the fastest growing industry at the time. This is now the fastest growing industry, but yet there's so many that don't get it, right? They just don't get it.
Right. And what's really crazy is usually you don't have a country in the world so out of sync with everybody else. This is basically the US versus the world. They're not only crushing innovation here, but they're basically hurting investors really worldwide. And when I look at what almost every country, it's like the exception to the rule would be the US. Congress is too busy worried about other things. But again, this is a big thing on a lot of people's minds, and they should probably be more interested in it. And then he followed it up with the crypto industry is stepping up to the plate for public-private collaboration on policy. No question about it. And we will continue to seek to work together on the optimal path forward. It's a nice statement by Garlinghouse. And I like this one by XRP. Darren, use the escrow to bribe politicians.
Well, here's JV is saying direct interactions with regulators, and that's a key point. It's like you can't sit on the sidelines. They are engaged. They're engaged with those that are going to write the legislation, not just the SEC, which they're embroiled in a lawsuit. So I guess they're engaged with the SEC too, from a specific perspective. But for them to run out, meeting with the policymakers. So then that's interesting what XRP Darren is saying there. Use the escrow to bribe politicians. How about you can use the escrow to lobby politicians?
Hey, check this.
That's another way of phrasing that right there.
But check this out. That's what Flare Community, Jeff, you didn't even see that tweet and you nailed it. It says Flare Community said, I thought it was called lobbying when politicians are involved to make it legal.
There you go. So
which is
gotta love that.
Which is so very spot on, Jeff. I mean, it's just incredible, right?
Hey, Chip, I want to throw this one up here from James SVG. Huge support over here. Don't be afraid. XRP is going to the moon, 15 to 28. This bull run, get ready. Keep buying. The FDSEC then want me out. Will not happen. Come and join me in the XRP family at Chimp Millionaire. Let's go, family. XRP. We've got the key.
Got the key, the laughter, and the shades. Future looks bright, Jeff. See that last emoji? So bright, we got to wear shades, is what he's saying right there.
Future is bright.
That is awesome. Yeah, so it is lobbying. So a little bit of a joke there, a little goof, but there's a lot of great comments. That's one of the things I love so much. Tony chimed in there from Thinking Crypto, and he's like, yeah, 2 thumbs up, baby. Got Bank XRP, followed it up with amazing what Ripple is accomplishing this year. And these are some of the, the thought leaders in the crypto space right here. And then, so Bam Bam XRP says, I agree 100%, but the price algorithm needs a charger pack, which, yeah, that could definitely use a little bit of a boost. But yeah, it was good stuff. So yeah, he's basically calling them out in that particular one right there. And they actually penned a PDF, which is really nice. And I'm wondering what kind of, this has been getting a little bit of press out there too, which I really like. But of course, we always go directly to the horse's mouth. And this is it right here. Today, Ripple is releasing a framework for cryptocurrency and digital asset regulation, a real approach. Now, if you go over to, I believe it's right here, it's a framework. Yeah, this is the document that they penned. It's 3 pages long and pretty complete, really nicely done. And they talk about a pragmatic way forward that accounts for the dynamic capabilities of cryptocurrency. Right there, dynamic capabilities of cryptocurrency. Right there, Jeff, just alone, that tells me it's not a security. You don't have any, there's not many dynamic capabilities of securities. You know what I mean?
Really? You haven't seen how many ways you can use a security?
No, cool. No, in digital assets, we believe the best public policy outcomes can be achieved by public and private collaboration, adapting existing regulatory frameworks, and fostering cryptocurrency innovation sandboxes.
Yeah. So, how much innovation is there with a security?
Securities are pretty lame. That's why I'm saying you don't have any. There's not really much dynamic things going on with them. And then crypto. This is a quote by Brad Garlinghouse. He says cryptocurrency and blockchain technology need clear regulatory and licensing frameworks designed to address and remedy the specific challenges to our industry. All the proposed measures discussed in this framework aim to provide legal clarity, industry, markets, and consumers in a way that regulation by enforcement approach simply cannot.
That's a powerful statement. That whole statement, if you break it down, and just look at, from the top, cryptocurrency and blockchain tech need clear regulatory and licensing framework. And so, number one, we don't have that yet in the US and other countries. I think they're getting close to it. In the UK, I think they're getting kind of close to it. Doesn't exist yet. And we can always go back, and we've used this way to explain it multiple. It's like driving on the road. You get in your car and you leave. You have no license, no rules, no stop signs, no traffic lights, no speed limits. And you go out there and everybody's doing whatever the heck they want to do. Not going to work so well. Now, you start drafting a little bit of clarity, lay out the rules to the road. People have an understanding. All right, I have to build my car to fit, this equation. Here's how I'm going to use it. Here's how I'm going to connect the rails and the dots and get, to different places, to different people. And this is how they're addressing. I think it's so, on point, remedy the specific challenges to the industry. So there's obviously some, and then this point that regulation by enforcement just won't do that. You can't always use the stick. And, but that's, Chip, I think there's something inherently wrong with everything that's going on. It's not just the SEC, not just Gary Gensler, but it's everything around them that all we see is rule by the stick, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's cop on the beat. Well, first of all, it's not clear enough to be able to you can't have regulation by enforcement as you're making up as you go along. There's nothing to enforce if it's murky. And JV writes this, which I like. He says Ripple is setting themselves up to be number 1 or 2. More people will see Ethereum for what it truly is, along with its fraudsters behind it. Yeah, and I think that it's already starting to lose some steam when you see other blockchains out there that are outpacing it and faster, lower fees. I mean, we're already starting to see some adoption. I don't see it going away, but I kind of get what you're looking at there, what you're getting at there, Jay, which is very cool. So as we look at this, one of the things I like about this next statement here is because to me, I look at this as an olive branch. Policymakers are increasingly looking to learn more and understand complexity and diversity of cryptocurrency and digital assets. The policymakers obviously being Congress, policymaker. They're not calling Congress out, but these are people that make the policy. In other words, not the SEC.
That's
right?
it.
I mean, you could.
And that's key. That's a key point, Chip.
Yeah, and it says Ripple welcomes any opportunities to share expertise and serve as a resource to better inform nascent public policies geared towards cryptocurrencies. And they're putting the olive branch out there saying, guys, we got a lot of expertise. We'd love to teach you. We'd love to explain how this stuff works. And they're trying.
But yeah. So Chip, think about how important it is. If you were gonna draft a bill right now, you're gonna draft a crypto bill. Where would you turn to for advice on the bill? Would you, talk to your colleagues and maybe look for another bill that's completely not related and say, hey, I've got some legislation. Can you please hide this in your legislation? Maybe nobody will notice. Or do you turn to who do you turn to if you wanted to write that bill? Who would you go to?
Yeah, well, I would think people who were experts in the space, people that had some really solid understanding of it, and that's what other countries have done too. This is where you see the other countries have turned to, I think it was Australia when they were working out some of that was there, R3, Ripple, or somebody else involved. You want to deal with the people that are already doing it and probably can give you a lot of advice on what would work. I mean, obviously decentralization is at the heart of almost anything. Because otherwise, what's the point? It's really not it's not really a crypto if it's a centralized type of an asset. But Jeff, I think the thing you're getting at there is the experts and who are the experts and who aren't the experts, right?
Yeah, and to take it to the level that if we look at what Ripple's been doing, for a fairly long period of time, lobbying, going to Congress, and here, like you'd mentioned, here's their olive branch. Their olive branch is, hey, we want the opportunity to help. We have the expertise. We've been doing this since what 2010, 2011, 2012. David Schwartz. They're from a technical perspective, they've been involved, from the ground floor, creators in this space, leading in the top 3, the top 5, but overall, as a rollout from the Main Street financial institution and banking stage, they are really the top dog in general. And you would think that Maxine Waters and some of the others would want to talk to them, right? They'd want to bring them in front of Congress and say, hey, can you guys help us with this?
Right, you would think. And I'm going to skip to this next section here because they talk about the proposal. This proposal reflects our hopes for a regulatory framework that taps into the unleashed potential of crypto and blockchain technology. And the very first heading here is public-private collaboration should be at the core of any legislative proposals. And we just talked about why that is. I mean, we don't have to really jump into it, but I mean, who else would you consult with? If you were talking about nuclear power, would you talk to your friend about it? Or you talk to nuclear engineers, people that are running successful plants, people that are doing it versus the people that are teaching it. See what I did there, Jeff?
Oh, I like that. I would go to directly to the first PhD that educates and doesn't research and has never been in the industry. And I would go and sit down and talk to them. I would specifically want one that promotes alternative energies like wind farming or solar power. That's who I'd go to enhance my nuclear power grid.
Yeah. And so, I mean, obviously they talk about fostering this type of open dialogue is precisely the aim of the Eliminate Barriers to Innovation Act. The bill requires an establishment of collaborative working group consisting of appointees from the SEC and the Commodity Future Trading Commission, which is CFTC, as well as reps from fintech companies, financial firms, small businesses, passed the House and remains pending in the Senate. So again, that would be working groups are fine, but we've kind of expressed our opinion on those. They're kind of who cares?
Yeah, but in that case, though, what's he pointing out there that that this is what it's going to take. You need everybody to come. You have to have the SEC, the CFTC, and Congress. They all have to get together and have a conversation. But look how inept it is, right? So it passes Congress, gets to Senate. Where is it? It's sitting in Senate. The bill isn't that complex. They could bring it to the table. They could have rushed it through. They could have done. There's all these other things going on. It's not like crypto isn't the fastest and blockchain isn't the fastest growing industry right now in the US that could actually bring immense economic growth over here and lots of jobs. It's not like it could do that, so but it's unreal. I think that this is a real, from the title, even though you're joking around with the title initially, but that from the title that they put in this all the way through, there's a number of jabs, back at Congress to say, hey, get your act together. You guys just are not doing it. Here we are, Ripple, and we're offering our expertise. We've been in the industry. We know it. Coinbase offered their proposal, as you'd mentioned. Now Ripple's coming out, and they're coming out relatively strong. Like you said, with that olive branch. Hey, come to us. We'll make it happen. You guys can't. We will. Move on.
Yeah, right on. And thank you, Connie, for the reminder. Sometimes I'm watching videos and I even forget to do that as well. So please hit the like, the subscribe, click that notification bell if you're new here. But we've actually seen our subscribers jump. I mean, just in the last day or so, which is awesome. There you go. Subscribe, click the notification bell, that like, everything. There you go. I love the way that popped out. That was like, it even freaked me out a little bit there, Jeff. But the second part here, okay, first of all, public-private collaboration should be at the core. The next one is existing financial regulatory proposals can be adapted to regulate cryptocurrencies, right? This is the whole thing. You can take existing regulatory proposals that we have out there and mold them. And they talk about the U.S. financial markets are considered first in class, and that's due in part to the existing regulatory framework on which they operate. We believe that framework is adapted to account for some of the unique attributes inherent to crypto currencies, which can provide the clarity the innovators seek and the market protections consumers deserve, right? That's a big one.
That's solid.
I mean, that doesn't get much notice right there, Jeff. And 2 legislative proposals aim to accomplish just that. Yeah, the SCA, which is the Securities Clarity Act, that proposes a new term, investment contract asset. It makes it clear that such assets should be considered separate and distinct from any security offerings they may have been part of. And then you've got the Digital Commodity Exchange Act, the DCAA, which is complementary to the SCA. It seeks to create a federal definition of digital commodity exchanges and then charges the CFTC with the authority to register and oversee them. Similar to the requirements in the commodity derivatives market, the SCA and the DCEA seek to work within existing and well understood financial regulatory frameworks, but then adapts them for the innovation in cryptocurrency and blockchain represents. Jeff, to me, they're just nailing it right on. They've really had some time to think about it, and they've had the last 9 months of being under, fighting the SEC on this. But what are your thoughts about this? How they're referencing existing proposals?
So far, they've referenced 3. They haven't even touched the token taxonomy yet. They referenced the work group between the CFTC and the SEC to get together. And now the Securities Clarity Act and the Digital Commodity Exchange. I think, right off the bat, one of the things that I'm looking at that they're mentioning here is that you don't have to go, off the reservation here and get all crazy to come up with new legislation for cryptocurrency. It's in the financial space, right? You have to tweak it a little bit, tweak the language, similar to the Token Taxonomy Act. They didn't get all crazy, and come up with all sorts of new, fangled ideas and overtaxation. They said, let's just adjust and tweak, bring in some of the verbiage so it's clear and understood, make us some allotments so that we can, people can exchange the assets from and not have big taxable events. And let's try to figure out how to foster innovation and growth in the space. At the end of the day, if there's corruption, there's laws on the books. If somebody is creating some sort of a pyramid scheme, there's laws on the books. If it's a Ponzi scheme, there's laws on the books, and it'll be addressed. Just because it seems like new technology doesn't mean that it doesn't still fit the definition of a Ponzi scheme or whatever, or it doesn't, or it falls within a breach of anti-money laundering, their provisions, or whatever it might be. There's already laws on the books to deal with it. So why are we getting so crazy about this? And so from a congressional perspective, that they'll want to have hearings on this forever. At the end of the day, what we're seeing is the corruption of it because you see the SEC trying to take power, the CFTC relinquishing or not backing down, and then you've got Congress doing nothing. So go figure.
That was really, Jeff, that was so spot on what you just said there. You're right. You can adapt stuff. Look at this massive support. So El Jefe. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate all you do for the community. Guys, thank you for what you did to us. I mean, that made Jeff sort of and I sit back and say, wow. I got to say, we were blown away by the support from the community. I mean, sometimes, you're doing your thing and you get it. Some people like it. But I got to tell you, I mean, to see tweets from digital asset investors saying, hey, guys, there's something wrong here. To see things, from John Deaton saying this cannot be right. This is one of the more respected channels in the space. To see Jungle Inc., to see, our fellow YouTubers out there, James Rule, and to see all of you that are in the chat really voice your opinion and put stuff out there, man, it was a little bit overwhelming. And I got to tell you, we're just blown away by the support. It really was something special.
It was, Chip.
I would say that was the best thing that came out of that, Jeff. I mean, you and I talked about that, but one of the greatest things that came out of that was like, wow, the appreciation. It really was good. It was kind of humbling. I was like, wow, I'm really, really digging that, So this next one,
Chip, I just want to point out, these are two huge supports back to back, from
two of them.
James, SVJ, and then from El Jefe.
El Jefe. I like that, El Jefe.
You could say that I have a plethora of piñatas.
Yeah. And then you have like this, you have the cryptocurrency. So they're really getting at the heart of the matter. And of course, this is summarizing it. This is the blog post. It gets a little more into it in the other document, but cryptocurrency innovation sandboxes should be fostered and encouraged. So this hits right at the heart, Jeff. This one statement right here is the whole idea. If you understand tech and you understand what tech is. Now, when I first read this, I kind of felt like they were taking a shot in a nice way in highlighting Hester Pierce's, her safe harbor, right? Because safe harbor talks about 3 years and allowing companies to sort of figure some stuff out, having some checkpoints along the way. And when I read this, you're like, cryptocurrency innovation sandboxes should be fostered and encouraged. It kind of hits right at what she was doing. But of course, we know Gary didn't read it because, he's too busy doing other things like videos about investing $8 or investing $5 a week or $10 a week and getting 8%. Nobody could find out where that happened, but you got 140 million in the bank. You're not really so sure about it, worried about it anymore, right? What do you think about that statement? Just on its head.
Read it again.
Cryptocurrency innovation sandboxes should be fostered and encouraged. When I mean sandboxes, they're talking about the sandboxes where you either have a staging and if you want to look at a great version of a sandbox, it's called Songbird, right? I mean, the whole Canary net is a version of a test net. It's not the real one, but they always call them sandboxes in tech. It's like, yeah, that's where you play. Well, that's where you figure the stuff out, but that's pre-production. That's free before it goes live. But you need to be able to foster that innovation and mess around with it.
Yeah. So that's a great point, and what are we seeing? We're seeing the opposite, right? So we're seeing the opposite from the policymakers, from those that should be looking for ways to foster innovation, to incentivize innovation, to support the retail investors and support the business investors, right? They should be doing all of that. And they shouldn't be pitting, enterprise and businesses against individuals, right? And that's what they've been doing a very good job of saying that business is bad, individuals are good, but we're not even going to protect the individual. And we're going to decide, too big to fail. And we're going to pump all sorts of money into a specific industry. So they say all sorts of things, jumble it up, and then they do whatever the heck they want to do. And one thing is for certain, though, is that they are disincentivizing innovation, and they're going to end up pushing all of this innovation offshore from the U.S. And so, so this is like, such a critical point. I think Chip was freezing up and we lost him. So let me pull up the screen in the meantime until we get Chip back in here. So let's see, where were we on this? Where were we on this one, Chip? I wasn't exactly but anyhow, so so that the whole idea of this here we are. Are you back?
I'm back, but I just had an audio issue. Like my audio went out. I couldn't figure out what was going on, so I had to go out and
All
come
of a
back
sudden you
in.
froze up too.
Yeah, something weird happened.
So here's something else. This is to the point. U.S. financial regulators should encourage the creation of a safe harbor regime, which network developers are allowed to. And obviously, we've already seen this, right? We've seen this, and that's exactly what we were referencing a minute ago. But there's Hester Peirce. She came out with a safe harbor. So
That's right.
they're now restating that there should be a safe harbor. I like your idea with a sandbox. I like the discussion here of a sandbox. How are you going to grow and learn, if you're not sandboxing the ideas? How are you going to get innovation? You got to look at a project, figure out how to tear it down, build it up, look for all the flaws before you throw it out there.
No, that's exactly right. And look at this right here, Susie Kusia, super sticker. Thank you for that, Susie. Much appreciated. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, no, I totally agree with that. I mean, this whole thing that they're coming together with this. I mean, now if you go in and read the entire thing, they make more references. They get more into the weeds as far as like, this. I like the blog post because it's a nice summary without us ripping apart the whole thing. But I would also encourage you guys, by the way, it's one of the things we send out nightly. If you subscribe, go over there to onthechain.io and you subscribe, you'll get after every show, you'll get an email that has all the stuff we talk about, and most of the stuff we never talk about, but a lot of good news that's going on. We obviously selected to talk about it, but sometimes we don't get to it, and that happens. But go ahead, Jeff, continue.
So Chip, I think this is the end of the post, but this is such a great way to end it, right? Ripple believes that each of the above proposals will provide regulatory clarity. What a great way to sum it up, right? Here's what we propose. Here's everything. We believe it's going to provide regulatory clarity. Why don't you guys listen to us? And then this can be done also. This can be done also maintaining the strong consumer and investor protections America is known for. So they're saying, hey, we can foster innovation, build out the crypto space, build out blockchain. We can do all of this, and we are not going to jeopardize both consumer and investor protections to make it successful. And there you go, Chip. I think very succinctly stated, where we have way too many people trying to make it ultra confusing and complex, but they do that on purpose. They make it seem ultra complex because if they didn't, people would look at them and say, why are you guys doing this thing full time again? I mean, it's just like, so they make it a lot more complex than it really is.
Oh, they absolutely do. And so if we kind of go into this right here, now this is the actual proposal itself. Again, what we just read was a summary, which is great because it kind of broke it down, but right here, they talk about the Securities Clarity Act, the SCA, which was reintroduced by bipartisan basis by Reps Tom Emmer, Darren Soto, Ro Khanna earlier this year, seeks to address the ambiguities, why do I always trip on that word, Jeff? Ambiguities in the SEC's application of the Supreme Court's 1946 Howey case to digital tokens issued as part of an investment contract. Specifically, the bill proposes a new term, and this is where they have this one called the investment contract asset. It also makes it clear that these assets should be considered separate and distinct from any securities offerings, because they're not, number one, and they also that they've been a part of. That is, that digital tokens are not transformed into securities merely because they've been issued in connection with an investment contract. Rather, the bill clarifies that these assets are, in fact, and always were, commodities. And that's exactly spot on right there, Jeff.
I agree.
Here we go again.
Check out the bipartisan nature of the bill.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And they talk about here, of course, security laws do not apply to a digital token or other regulatory mechanisms that are needed to ensure safe and orderly markets. During the last Congress, you had former Rep. Mike Conway, as well as Reps. Tom Emmer, Darren Soto, Dusty Johnson, Austin Scott, David Schweikert. They sought to address the issue through an introduction of the Digital Commodities Exchange Act. in the previous Congress, and complementary to the SCA, the DCEA seeks to create a federal definition of digital commodity exchanges and charges the CF.
I was going to say, Chip, before we continue kind of reading through this, this is like a perfect time to announce our guest, because you can go back to that list, and our guest that's going to come up on the 22nd, I believe that's Monday.
Wait, Jeff,
the 22nd.
Jeff, who's it going to be, Jeff?
Who's it going to be?
Who's it going to be?
So let's look at this list. If you guys want to guess, so from the SCA, Tom Emmer, Darren Soto, Ro Khanna. If you guys were to pick of those three, who do you guys think it's going to be?
What do you think it's going to be? Drum roll, please. Let's see what you guys have to say. Anybody at all? Okay, Jeff, maybe we should go further down the list. I'm just kidding. Those are previous ones. But anyway, if you guys who's guessing,
Hans Loaded has got it, and Dash has got it. Earth Angel's got it. Everybody, XRP Speedboat's got it. It is none other than Tom Emmer, Republican out of Minnesota, is going to be joining us on, what did I say? The 22nd,
Monday,
which I believe is Monday.
Jeff.
Yep, it's going to be awesome. Prepare your questions. Send them over to us. You guys can, if you go to the website, you can find our email over there. You can email us, or you can even go check out Telegram. Go to Telegram, find us over there on the Chain Roundtable, and join our Telegram group. Throw in some questions over there. We'll grab those questions, and that'll be outstanding. You guys can even check out over on Twitter. Throw us on a Twitter message. However you want to do it, throw us some questions, and we'll start compiling them. It's going to be outstanding, Chip. I'm super excited. It was fun having Warren Davidson on, but I'm getting more excited about Tom Emmer.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a privilege, Jeff, to be able to have somebody who deeply believes, with Warren Davidson to come on here. He's somebody who believes, he wrote the token taxonomy. Now you've got Tom Emmer. Really, there's not too many bigger proponents of digital assets, in the whole blockchain space. I'm breaking out my sport jacket for that one. I'm breaking it out. I got several, but
I'm going to be prepared because
I'm going to do a t-shirt. Yeah.
He'll show up. Yeah. Like dressed down, take it off. He shows up, sport jacket, keep it on. It's going to be interesting.
Well, it will be early enough, Jeff, where I think we'll be okay. But yeah, that's fantastic. I'm just reading through some of this stuff. Some of this other stuff is funny. Hey, I wasn't too.
Look at that. He actually gives me a very small glimmer of hope for politicians. You're right. There's a handful, and Tom Emmer is definitely one of them. Kennedy is another. Loomis, another. Cynthia Lummis. She's really solid, and she's actually still trying to remove that crypto language from the legislation. I'm not sure where that stands. But yeah, there's man, it's awesome. How awesome.
Yeah, look at this right here, Jeff. It says cryptocurrency innovation. It talks about the sandboxes. The current uncertainty in the U.S. regulatory landscape discourages innovation and could cause a brain drain in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space. Absolutely. Brain drain, brain dread. That's close enough.
Brain drains. GDLC said, damn, YouTube will definitely try to cancel you again when Tom comes on.
No.
You never know.
No, I think that's actually what also helped us as well. I'm thinking,
It's possible we threw it out there. So excited. Man, it's exciting. It's gonna be so awesome. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, really cool. I mean, what a great thing. And it's again, it's gonna be something that we talk a lot about, to have Tom Emmer on here, man. No, my gosh, no, Jose, what are you thinking, man? No. Jose, can you see? My God, man, please. We don't need low energy Jeb on here. No, thanks.
Right. Emmer gets crypto. That he does for sure.
Well said. He does get crypto. He's a good dude. He's a really good guy. And man, super exciting, Jeff. Super exciting. I'm not wearing a t-shirt. If I do, at least I'll put a sport jacket over it, and that'll be cool.
I'm gonna wear this. Exactly this.
That exact thing?
I'm gonna wear this shirt and this. No, I'm not. I'm gonna put a sport coat on because out of respect,
Yeah.
you know, just like we did for you know, it's just cool. You know, it's just very cool.
Because we never dress up, Jeff. I mean, but you know,
Yeah,
for
it's fun though, Chip.
I don't know about that, but I guess it's fun. And the interview is going to be a blast, you know. I mean, but that's exactly what happened when Warren Davidson came out. He goes, I watched your show, and you guys wearing t-shirts, so I wore at least throw a polo on. You guys are all dressed up. What the hell?
You showed up.
What's wrong with you guys?
Jim D is saying, can we simulcast to multiple live streams? And we're actually looking at doing that. So we are reaching out to the library and Odyssey. There is a way to live stream. We want to talk to them about it first because there's definitely a lot to orchestrate to make that happen because we've got this one going. We want to get that one going. We're on Twitter. So actually, you tune in on 3 Twitter channels. So we've got Chips, mine, and OTC all going at the same time, but you can't comment over there. And we're on Twitch. So you guys probably don't know. I don't know. Every so often we have one person hanging out over there on Twitch all by himself.
On Saturday mornings, I'm always on Twitch because it allows me to do other stuff. Like I
always thought it was Gary.
No, it's not. But look at this right here. K HUD. Thank you for that. She's like really cool. Puts the old shades on. Yeah. That is really cool. And yeah, we're super stoked about it. But here you go right here. This is Susan Friedman. She also gets some a little bit of some quotes in that post as well, but she is the head of policy over at Ripple. She said Ripple's policy framework is out. We focused on a pragmatic approach built through our conversations with regulators and policymakers. So they're already doing it, Jeff. It's not like something is new. And again, it came out of these conversations already. And with an immediate plan of action through what's been proposed in Congress and current regulatory frameworks. Of course, she links to it. And then she says existing proposals such as the Eliminate Barriers to Innovation Act and Securities Clarity Act and Digital Commodity Exchange Act provide the right starting point for the discussion. So she says, shout out to, you know, Tom Emmer, Darren Soto, Ro Khanna, Patrick McHenry, also part of that. Stephen Lynch, and then Congressman, who's the GT? I'm not sure I recognize that. Oh, Glenn Thompson.
You know what? So, Patrick McHenry would be great to have on here. I wouldn't even mind, you know, and it might be tough, but.
We're in bow ties, Jeff.
What's that?
Gotta wear a bow tie, Jeff. I'll get a bow tie if that happens.
McHenry on, we definitely get the bow tie. I have no idea how to tie one. I would need one
on one of those
string.
Spinning ones, Jeff. You know, like you like press a button, it spins, and the water shoots out of it.
Exactly. That's
what I'd like.
That's exactly what we'd need. So, but I like that, man. You got check that. That's bipartisan in nature too. Those are some of the top supporters. You've got Darren Soto, Ro Khanna, Democrats, and you got McHenry. You've got Emmer. You've got so many. And then, you know, who knows what happens over here. But look at this right there. Republican leader Patrick McHenry at today's markup. To say my Democrat colleagues are out of touch with the needs of the American people is an understatement. So
there's a video
that's at
the
Financial Services Committee.
Yeah, which is the one this is where the token taxonomy and all these other ones are sitting, Jeff.
They're just stuck.
What I'll do is I will remove that and reshare it, and then we'll be able to see if we can like listen in on this a little bit. But let's do this.
Shout out to Notorious,
always big OG supporter. Thank you for that, man. All right, let's see if we can hear this, Jeff. I'm going to see. Let me know if you can. I'm going to go ahead and play it. I just happen to click on it. I don't really let's see what he says here.
Are they speaking real quietly?
I don't know, Jeff. I mean, they haven't played it yet. So this is Maxine Waters. She chairs the committee.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. I'll start by thanking the chair for including Congressman Emmer's legislation to reform our credit unions in today's markup. There's also a few other bright spots of bipartisanship, and Congressman Gottheimer's bill to protect seniors from bad actors is one. Congresswoman Beatty's legislation to codify some of the previous administration's work to expand employment opportunities for Americans with past minor offenses. I think this is a positive and in stark contrast to the usual Democrats' go it alone approach for this Congress. However, I can't help but wonder, why is there nothing in today's markup to help Americans who are struggling to make ends meet? Madam Chair, in October, the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, a key inflation index, hit a 30-year high. CPI rose 6.2% in October compared with a year ago. That is the largest annual increase in 30 years. So what does this stat actually mean to American families? It means that it costs you more to fill up your tank. It costs you more to put food on your table. It means that your paycheck is worth less. I know my Democrat colleagues don't want to hear anything from Republicans about inflation. So here's...
Yeah, it kind of gets into it. I mean, it gets into a little bit more. Do you want to continue, Jeff?
Yeah.
You want to?
No, let's move on.
I think let's move on. It's like, but you kind of get the, you just get the flavor of that. You don't have to really,
Yeah, and the thing is, one of the things that we look at, and I was talking about this the other day, is the fact that, and really what Brad Garlinghouse was referencing right now is that we have innovation sitting here on our shores, one of the fastest growing industries at this moment, and maybe in history, probably in history. We saw the internet boom grew pretty quickly. The fintech was growing pretty quick, but blockchain and cryptocurrency, I think in the decade that it's been around, I think is just astronomical. Even though we're only, eclipsing $2 trillion market caps, $3 trillion market caps, but overall significant growth. And, how do you ignore that? But what does that growth mean? And how does it signify a turnaround of all those things that McHenry was talking about? It is a catalyst for economic growth and the betterment for everybody. Just like the mayor of Miami, he's talking about dropping Bitcoin on all residents of Miami. Now, if that's not something, he's trying to attract all that kind of money, but that's what it takes. He's not trying to chase it away. He's trying to attract it.
Right.
So, man, we got Dash over here saying, or hyphen, or whatever else.
Yeah. What do you want us to call you? The world? I mean, what do you tell us how you want us to refer to you?
Global Dash.
Just throw it in there.
Dash hyphen
world.
Minus.
We are the world, Jeff. No, thank you for that. That's really awesome, man. Yeah. Well, you know what, Jeff? Every once in a while, Ripple gets a brand new team member. And I thought this was really cool because...
That's your response, Chip.
Say what?
There's your response.
LOL? That's not it. Dash is fine.
Is fine.
Dash. What's up, Dash? Because Dash is way better than hyphen, because hyphen is like, 2 syllables. Hyphen,
hyphen is way too much.
Hyphen,
We just call him H.
H. We'll call you H. Dash is good. Dash is great.
Dash.
DASH Dash. What up, Dash?
Dash is cool. Then eventually we just shorten it. What's up, D?
For that one, I'm going to go here just so we have a little room. But Paul Chen said, I just joined Ripple's business development team and the hashtag XRP Army. This blog outlines my top reasons. So Paul Chen's like, I'm joining Ripple, but I'm going to tell you why I joined Ripple. So he put together this blog post right here. He said this article's informational purpose represents my personal view only, doesn't represent that of any institutions that I'm affiliated with now, such as Ripple or in the past. Of course, you always got to put that disclaimer in there, right? Because if you don't, people are like, well, what does this mean? And all this other stuff. Well, he goes, since I shut down my digital mental wellness startup, Flourish Tech, this summer, I've been taking a productive pause before rushing into the next shiny new thing. A few weeks ago, I decided to join Ripple's business development team. Here's my top reasons. First, I want to double down on crypto and blockchain. Boom, Jeff.
I like
double
that.
Down.
And I'm up for a biz development role with the. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jeff. That's what we both do. That. So we could both do biz dev.
Yeah.
Since I first started exploring, why not, Jeff? Let's join. I'll put it together a blog post. I'll put together a whole show about why I joined Ripple, but I haven't, so I'm not doing that. So, but if I was, it says since I first started exploring
on the map.
Well, then we won't be doing the show. So, it's like, exploring crypto in 2018, I've strengthened my conviction that blockchain is the best computer architecture for realizing decentralization and democratic governance. Boom. Powerful statement, Jeff.
It's pretty solid.
And he's right about this. He said, until blockchain came about, the internet's been used a lot to advance centralization and monopolies in business and government. We can think of all the big ones, right? We know it has been used to, and that's something, it's so obvious, but he nailed it. The internet's been used to.
With a G, ends with an E, starts with an M, ends with a T. One is a fruit.
All right, Jeff, let's relax. And one is evil. And one is evil, so I'm not going to say who that is.
I just covered all of them. It starts with an M, ends with a T, right? Starts with a
Yes.
G, ends with an E, and then a fruit. All of them. They're all centralized in nature.
They are all centralized until blockchain came about. I read that, but he says the centralization, blah blah blah, and he goes, "I want to be in the arena. I don't want to be sitting on the sideline. I want to be in the arena, handcuffs off." Second, my biz dev team executes fast and is self-aware. Talks about his interview process with Ripple, that it was smooth, professional, efficient. He said before he was decided Ripple, he was privileged to have a few offers to consider. So it wasn't as if Ripple was like, "Hey, you want to come join us?" He's like, "Okay, I guess I'm not doing anything." No, he had a couple offers on the table by prospective employers. So the Ripple team responded the fastest. Well, Jeff, I would expect that from a digital, 3 to 4 seconds.
Yeah, it should be at least 3 to 4 seconds. If they would have delayed, he would say, "Hey, I got to question your speed. If you can't respond to that fast, then how are you gonna move my money fast?"
Yeah, the other one's more like Bitcoin, right? They were like responding in 2 days, something like that, or
like
we had to get back.
Terrified. He's like, "Oh man, they haven't responded. I sent it. I haven't heard it." Man, it's like 2 days. I like that immediate, just quick response.
So I was surprised by its speed of execution, since it has a longer history and larger size than some of the other companies that I interview with. So basically, what he's saying here is, Ripple is a bigger, larger corporation, and for a bigger, larger corporation, you usually get bloat. No, he was like fast. It surprised him how fast they got back to him. He said, in the tech world, the capacity to execute fast is one of the universal first principles. Few universal first principles. The Ripple biz dev team, they move fast. Besides speed of execution, my discussions with Ripple were balanced between the excitement about the future and also a keen awareness of challenges. I find this level-headed approach wise. In my past experience, teams that not only see the upside tend to be blindsided by roadblocks and become disgruntled. Conversely, teams that only see the challenges become cynical and get nothing done. My team strikes a good balance between these good sentiments. Speedy train, Jeff.
Host
biz dev. Well, biz dev. He joined biz. He's talking. Well, he's talking right now. He's been with them for a little bit.
Oh, so he didn't just get hired, and now he has experience working for them.
A little bit.
He's just a hiring process.
It's recent. So the third, the Ripple culture seeks to both promote excellent work and encourage a friendly environment. Nice. It talks about fourth, Ripple has a strong brand among enterprise customers. Ripple teams worked hard to build trust with both emerging and other enterprises. Strong. Talks about the fifth reason was Ripple has a strong financial health, allowing it to weather the ups and downs of the crypto industry. In other words, they're not going anywhere.
That's critical. I like that. Well stated.
It was also at Alibaba too, which is 110 billion in 2020 revenue.
Wow.
So yeah, it came from Alabama, so that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
And I wonder, yeah, very interesting. And now it's not so good to be at Alibaba.
No. 6, it's cool to join a crypto army. Yes, baby. We've got the XRP army. It goes, crypto secret to success. It's community. First approach in building a business. The Ripple and XRP community arguably is one of the most passionate networks in crypto today. Check out the XRP army here. I'm afraid to click on that. Oh, this is I think this looks like a post from CoinDesk.
Oh.
Yeah.
See that XRP army? There they are.
Oh, they are.
There they are. There's the XRP army.
FUD stompers. Like it or not, XRP army is winning crypto's hashtag war. That was from 2018, by the way. So you know what? I think, Jeff, I think he's been part of the crypto. I think he's been part of the XRP army.
Ah, that makes sense. And that's where
he
came from. Maybe he even drew that picture.
I don't know about
that.
Check
this out. K HUD, do an on-the-chain token for native development.
There you go. I like
OTC.
a token. OTC coin, Jeff.
We need a token. A token. The OTC coin. Yeah, we can roll one out over on the XRPL for $50.
No, man, I want it to be real. I want it to be cool, man.
Yeah, it's got to be real. We're gonna do it. We got to do it.
And you know, it's amazing. Like you got so much support from the XRP community. I mean, I'm gonna get them to all, but hey, welcome. Good to have you on the team. Great. You know, all this kind of stuff. Really cool to see that. Just fantastic. So,
Man,
but
so
he
there's been a
understands the
lot
community.
Yeah, 100%, Chip. Man, there's been a lot of discussion here over this upcoming solo drop, right? So the
Yeah.
solo drop conversation is if you have solo, right, and you have it sitting over there on your and they take the snapshot, they're going to distribute 5 for 1, but it all depends on something. So I believe it probably depends on how many people, how many trust lines are created before that point. There was a great chat with Ani and Berserker and a whole crew earlier today, and they were digging into this stuff. But I think it's interesting. So this is what I've been thinking the same thing. You can move your XRP over there. I think you get 20% of your XRP holdings. Or you can say if I'm getting 5 for 1. Why wouldn't I just go over there and try to load up on some solo? Why not put like $10,000 into solo? Because then, that's what I'm thinking. But then I went over there. I'm like, where do you even buy solo?
Well, I got good news for you. I got good news for you.
Yeah.
It was announced today that it's going to be available. Drum roll, please. BitTrue. BitTrue is going to have it. They're rolling it out solo, and they're going to also honor the snapshot, which is also pretty cool.
So that means they're going to roll out solo before the snapshot.
Correct.
That means there might be an opportunity to buy some of that solo before the snapshot.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. But here's Oscar saying, be careful, don't put all your XRP into solo. I wouldn't move my XRP into solo.
No, I wouldn't either.
But he said there'll be a massive sell-off as soon as the airdrop happens. And that could very well be. I'm wondering what would happen to the price of solo. They're going to do this massive airdrop. Is there going to be a tie-up or something where you can't sell as soon as you get that airdrop? But I think the airdrop doesn't come anyways until January, right? So I think they take the snapshot and
December
then
24th.
it moves on. What? Well,
December 24th.
Snapshot, but the distribution I think is in January. So then you kind of wait. So Candace is saying, now you're talking, Jeff. Solo seems like Peter pays Paul situation. So I don't, that whole thing, so what's up with this distribution anyway? Why do you think they're doing it? Why are they doing a drop of solo?
I think they're trying to just, I mean, obviously the closest thing to, I mean, they're on the XRPL. They got the DEX. They're doing some great things. I just think it's kind of a nice, fits really well, hand in hand though. That's what I think it's about. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's just.
But it's already distributed. The solo's already out there. You can buy it right now.
Yeah, it is, but I think it's getting more people involved in it. You know what I mean?
But they are rolling something out, right? When they do the drop, it's not just they're doing an airdrop for the heck of it, right? There's something else going on in conjunction with the airdrop. Aren't they rolling something out with NFTs or?
Yeah, they're launching the NFT marketplace, existing on the existing Sologenic DEX. Users will be able to mint, list their NFTs, the upcoming Sologenic NFT marketplace by spending solo tokens. That's how you do it. So it's kind of bringing some awareness to that. Featuring an NFT will also be possible by using solo as a payment by using a bidding system. So there you go. If everybody's holding, now you might be more encouraged to go over and get the NFTs rather than buy it. Then you already have it, right?
That's it.
And then 100% of the solo tokens collected as fees will be burned instantly. So they're going to burn all of the fees.
Yeah.
Collected as fees, by the way.
Exciting, man. This space is heating up.
It's insane.
Every day it's something new. This whole idea of the airdrops, I never thought about airdrops before. Not running around trying to figure out how do I leverage my holdings by getting, some airdrops like this. We got this one coming, we got Vagabond coming. We missed some others probably, took advantage of the ELS. But there's a ton going on. But I'm still wondering, I was looking up solo, and solo was at like 236, I think, on the get-go. Let me see.
Well, here it is right here, Jeff. I'm just throwing this up. So it says, in order to engage the community to participate in the ecosystem and propose governance utilities, the Solo Core team has decided to unlock 200 million Solo and conduct an airdrop to the XRP and Solo communities. So there you go. How will it be distributed? Take place after capturing a snapshot of the account balances in the XRP ledger, which will be established a trust line to the Sologenic gateway. The 200 million Solo will be distributed to those accounts that hold Solo and XRP at the time of the snapshot. Following ratios applied: XRP holders 50%, Solo holders 50%.
So of that 200 million or whatever it was, they're going to split. So 100 million being, it's going to get distributed amongst Solo holders and XRP holders. And if you have both, you're going to get extra distribution, because you can get distribution for your XRP and distribution on your Solo.
Exactly. But they're saying, hey, make sure the trust line to the Sologenic gateway is in place for the account to be eligible. And they said, like, let's assume the final amount of XRP and Solo, which are qualified for the Solo airdrop at the time of snapshot, are as follows. So you have, let's say you have 20 million. Is that 20 million?
It's 20 million.
You have 20 million Solo tokens.
Solo, I'd be living large.
You like, yeah, you got 500 million XRP.
We wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, the number of Solo airdrops for the holders of XRP and Solo will be calculated and deposited as follows. So you have the 200 million divided by 2, divided by 20 million equals 5 Solo per each Solo holding. That's the airdrop for the Solo token. So they're taking the 200, they're basically taking the 200, the 20 million, the 200 million, which is what they're giving away. They're dividing that by 2. Then they're dividing it by the 20 million in this example right here, which is the Solo token. That comes out to be 5 Solo. And then the XRP airdrop amount, you got the 200 million divided by 2, then divide that by 500 million. That equals 0.2 Solo per each XRP holding.
So yeah, nice. That's not bad. I mean, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's not bad. I mean, what do you, I mean, you're getting something for nothing. I mean, you're getting Solo.
They're giving you Solo that's currently valued at $2.64.
Right. And who knows what it's going to be at the snapshot? It could be $6, $8, $10. I mean, you know, all right, game on.
I mean, it's crazy. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, you know, do you go out and do you acquire some Solo? You know, do you start stacking some bags of Solo? I haven't even thought about Solo until now. Now I'm thinking about Solo. And I'm like, I'm going to get 5 more of them.
When we had Reza Bashar, I thought about it too. But remember, at the time, we couldn't buy it in the U.S. That was part of the issue we had.
Yeah,
we couldn't buy it.
Yeah, it was just in Canada. And now we can buy it?
I guess so.
I don't know if we can buy it. Let me look at these exchanges. So I'm sure people are buying it. Markets. No.
K-HUD says, while you're doing that, K-HUD 5, thank you for that. It says, what are you here for? Do you want to be a community member? You want to be a community or an industry? I want to be both, but that's just me.
I want to be all the above.
But if I had to choose, I would say industry over community. But it's hard to get a really strong industry without community. I mean, how would Apple have survived? How would, you know, Google have survived if they weren't embraced by a community? There was a time I remember, I'm old enough to remember, where people were like, yeah, you go to your browser and you type in www.yahoo.com, and it'll be like, no, you go to Google. So there were the Googlers who said, oh, no, you don't want to mess with Yahoo. But Yahoo was first, so everybody's telling everybody. And then you hear people jump in and say, no, go to Google. It's way better. You don't have that unless you have community. You have to have that community around it. So I do get your point, but you have to have that.
Yeah.
That's funny. Having Solo, I won't feel Solo. That's funny. Well, Jeff, it's that time of the night, so I wanted to just...
what if XRP hits $10?
Merry Christmas. St. Nick will be a little bit late this year because, you know, he's got some big bags of XRP, potentially. I don't know.
He's out there counting his bags.
I don't know if it's true. But anyway, I wanted to thank everybody. It's great to be back. It is that time. It is time to get out of here in a few moments. But again, if it's first time here, you know, like, subscribe, click that notification bell. That way you'll be noticed anytime we go live, which is always a great thing. Click that notification bell. Click on that like. Do all those things. Jeff, that one last comment before we get out of here?
That was my comment, Chip. We do stream 6 days a week, if you didn't know that already. And that is Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. time, and every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow night's another night. It is midweek. It's going to be an exciting one. And then, man, I'm just fired up about Monday. So make sure you guys run out, go to onthechain.io, onthechain.io, check that out. Throw your email in, subscribe to the channel. You're not going to get any other emails other than from On the Chain. And those emails, every evening when we finish this, we put it up. You'll get a little blog post with a bunch of articles and whatnot. But also, most importantly, man, check out for Monday night, right? Monday. I'm excited about Monday. The point was join the Telegram On the Chain roundtable, throw in some questions, however they get to us, right? It's in the description. All that stuff's in the description. You know that. That's it, Chip. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, so, the thing is, if you go to the top, when you go to onthechain.io, just click on the contact. That way you can send us an email. Send us an email directly. We get it. We read them all. And if you wanted to say, hey, here's a question, you can either do that. You can hit us up on Twitter, probably get a Twitter blog post and go questions, announcing, Tom Emmer is going to be on the show and who has questions for him. We'll put something like that out there. Maybe we'll put a poll up there, kind of see, poll just to see and kind of maybe share that with Tom if it makes sense, with Rep Emmer. We'll do that as well. But that's all I have, Jeff. Excited to be back, and peace out.
All right. Peace out.
What about me, man? No peace out? I don't get a peace out?
Yeah. Might have been up.
What's up with that, Reg? I don't get a peace out. All right, that's cool.
You get nothing.
That's all right. I get nothing. I get no peace out or anything, man. I get no peace out. She's a peace out.
We got to hang out here until you get a peace out.
Yeah. Peace out, man. I'm gonna get a peace out here. Here you go. Peace. I got a piece from Cryptic. Thank you. That's good enough.
There we go. All right, we're out.
Yeah, right there. Hang on a second. Kind of sloop as I got one there. There you go. There you go. All right. There you go. Peace out, Chip.
We're on Jeff. What the heck is it? All right, there you go.
All right, guys. That's it. And we are out of here. We will see you on the next one. Chip and Jeff out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.